Hey, what's going on and what's up, Sussex Squad? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Charles, you are really trying to get some sympathy points. After you delighted for 3 days in literally trying to humiliate, mock, taunt, and make your second son Harry cry by what an outcast he is. When that didn't work and Meghan and Harry turned up looking good in Nigeria, I'm sorry, should we call her the Duchess of Sussex or a princess of the a princess of the realm, of the princess, one of the princesses of Niger. I talked about that in a different video, but y'all, let's get into this. Charles says he's lost his sense of taste amid cancer battle. You mean your sense of what? So you can't taste this defeat you getting, baby? Eat some of your jam. Can you taste your jam? Anyway, right? Let me just say this starting off before we get into it. This is so obviously put out to garner sympathy after being called out for being unnecessarily cruel to Harry. And after the Spencers made him look bad by showing up for Harry, protecting Harry, and letting them know you're not going to do to my nephew what you did to my sister. I'm glad the Spencers turned up. I'm glad they showed up. I'm glad Diana's brother could not be bought like Pippa, like, I'll put her on the list, like Kate. By the way, it's day 150. Where the F is Kate? Honestly, where is Kate? They couldn't be bought like Carol Middleton. They couldn't be bought. They said, we don't need your privilege. We don't need your title. We are more blue blood than you are. If you want to buy into this, we outrank you. You're nothing but an accident of nature. You were never supposed to rule. Now, by the way, I know I'm being petty and you know I don't think anybody should be royal. But if you buy into that, you were never supposed to be there. You were an accident by the choice of faith. You are pretenders and everything you do shows it. Okay? He got mad because they literally came and showed up and showed out. Interesting enough, I noticed Beatrice and Eugene weren't there. Right? Beatrice is just literally shucking and driving, doing what they can so they become a lady. Again, they want to be royal. I'm not going to blame them, but that's the thing. Charles don't like you, Beatrice and Eugene. And as soon as you're not useful to him anymore, he will cast you aside and throw you away. Okay? Also, Charles was all smiles giving William new military role. This is ridiculous. I honestly can't believe that Charles would be this stupid. But let's get into Charles's stupidity because it never abounds. How do you try to be cruel to someone? And now you're arguing, no, I told him he could stay here. He said he wanted to stay at a hotel. That is a lie. You're mad. You're mad because literally Harry looked at him and said, don't lie about me and I won't tell any truths about you. You're mad that no matter what you tried to do, it did not work. You're mad and you are furious. On top of this, Harry put out that statement saying, yeah, sorry, I can't see my father. He said his schedule was too busy. And then Charles showed up for some event at David Beckham. You said you couldn't see your own son, but you showed up at some dumb event with David Beckham. Now, here's why it was supposed to be an FU to Harry. And this is the interesting thing, all right? You got to think about this. David Beckham and Victoria Beckham and them fell out. Why? Because it was rumored that Harry thought that David Beckham and Victoria Beckham were selling stories to the tabloids. And they were like, how dare you? We would never. But I think that the tabloids were purposely misconstruing the story. I think that David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, because they are big Anglophiles, look how much Victoria Beckham kissed Ann Wintour's butt for years to try to be on the cover of Vogue, and Ann Wintour would never do it. They are very much into being respected by the Rose Hannaberys of the world, the royal family, the Turteltaughs. They are very English and they feed into that. They are social climbers and they want to be respected. And it's no shade to social climbers because honestly, I don't believe that anybody has a place. Get in where you fit in. However, I don't believe that Harry and Meghan cut them off, or at least Harry, because they were selling things to the tabloid. I think that is something they did they put out there in the media to make Harry look paranoid. I do think that he thought for whatever reason that David Beckham and Victoria Beckham were talking to either Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace. They were either talking to Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace. Harry got wind of it and he was like, no, my family's trying to destroy me. This is my wife. This is my family. They are the most important. I will cut anybody off that feels more loyalty to them than they do to me. And that's why they fell out. So the fact that Charles had a reception for David Beckham, for the person that Harry cut off because he thought that the Beckhams were feeding information about him to the palace, yeah, that was a big FU. But unfortunately, Charles doesn't realize that every single time he digs a grave for Harry, he only digs it for himself. Anyway, this was in TMZ, so you know the palace planted it. Charles has lost a sense of taste amid cancer treatment. Is this supposed to garner our therapy? Oh no, our sympathy. Oh no, Dracula can't taste blood when he sucks his victims dry. Oh no, somebody help Dracula. Man, if you don't do what every other chemo if you don't go smoke a bowl, eat some edibles, do something. I don't mean to make light of anybody that is actually suffering from what is going on with cancer. That is very hard. But I am going in on Charles. Charles, shut up. You did the most you are cruel to 2-year-olds and 5-year-olds. And you want us to care about whether you can taste your crumpets away? Man, shut up. Anyway, King Charles has lost his ability to taste as he continues to battle cancer. And based on how he ended up revealing this, it might be given some insight into his treatment. Now, you know what? I want to say this right now. I call this out. I think this is a lie. If anybody's actually known somebody close to them that has cancer, when they lose their sense of taste, one of the reasons it's so disconcerting is because you lose a lot of weight. Once you can't, and of course with chemo, it's also very hard to keep weight on. Once you can't taste anymore, you lose weight at an astonishingly alarming rate. It's actually something that is a very, very serious side effect. Charles is the exact same weight. I'm not getting anything what these royal reporters said are true. Is Charles lying about having cancer? I'm being serious because what he's saying isn't adding up. Anyway, and they said Charles was visiting the Army Flying Museum in Southeast England with Prince William tagging along when he spoke to a vet named Aaron Maplebeck who said he's lost his sense of taste while undergoing chemo for testicular cancer. As it turns out, this has happened to Charles too, because he said so as much in response to the guy, although it doesn't sound like he elaborated much beyond that. So let me get this straight. This isn't even coming out of Charles's mouth. This is just a stupid puff piece put in TMZ. Of course, the king's exact form of cancer hasn't been disclosed yet, nor have any of the details of his treatment regimen, although we know he's had regular doctor visits of late. Still, even with the serious health update, Charles is continuing on with public duties. As reported, there were rumblings recently that his condition was far worse than anyone realized, and that palace officials were apparently dusting off funeral plans to have ready. In light of the news, Buckingham Palace announced the king would be getting back to work, which he officially did in late April, and he'd been real busy ever since, even having to miss Harry's 10-year Invictus Game anniversary ceremony last week. And you know what? Nobody gave a F because the Invictus was bigger, better, and grander than anything the royals have pulled off since Harry left. And you know what? They were not a part of it. On its face, it would appear Charles is well enough to keep serving the public and carry on with a full schedule. But with this confession, it also sounds like he's dealing with things behind the scenes. Brave face of death. Charles, shut up. This isn't nothing. Just a weak attempt to garner sympathy. Listen, Charles, we don't buy your stupid, kind old man with Weathers original candy in your pockets anymore. You're done. In any case, shout out to Harry and Meghan. Shout out indeed for showing them how it's done. Make sure you check out all my videos. We went over Rose Hannaberry. We went over William cosplaying Harry. We also went over Meghan being the queen of the realm. That's right. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.